Let me ask you something honest. Does your hair feel flatter every single year, no matter what you do? You have tried the mousse, the blow dryer, the deep conditioning, everything, but nothing seems to bring back that volume and life your hair once had. You are not imagining it. After 60, fine hair becomes even finer. The density shifts, the bounce disappears, and the cuts that once looked stunning on you now just sit there looking limp and a little too honest about what the years have done. So most women do what makes sense. They turn to the bob, classic, clean, and familiar. But here's what nobody is telling you. Not every bob is helping your hair. Some are actually making things worse. They collapse at the crown, hug the scalp, and look polished from the front, but completely flat everywhere else. Welcome to Ageless Black Style, the channel celebrating Black women over 50 who refuse to let age define how they show up. Today, I am walking you through 5 bob haircuts that actually work with fine, aging hair, not against it. And stay until the very end because the 5th style is the one most women completely overlook, and it might just be the most transformative cut of your life. Have you ever spent 20 minutes teasing and spraying your crown only to watch it fall completely flat 5 minutes later? That is not your hair being difficult. That is your cut failing you. The classic straight across bob looks neat and clean, but for fine black hair over 60, it piles weight right where your hair is already weakest, the back of your head. And that extra weight drags everything down. The inverted bob fixes this beautifully. Shorter at the back and longer in the front, it shifts the weight forward, and that simple change makes an enormous difference. It lightens the back so your crown lifts naturally. It adds length around the face where your hair tends to hold more density, and it gives your whole look structure without needing heat tools or product every morning. Think about a woman in her mid-60s who has tried cut after cut and walked away disappointed every time. She tries the inverted bob and says, for the first time in 5 years, I do not feel like my hair is sliding off my head. Ask your stylist for tapered layers at the back, a gentle forward angle that frames the jaw, and crown volume built through subtle layering, not heavy stacking. Perfect if you struggle with flatness at the nape and want shape that holds itself. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever tried an inverted bob? Did it work for you? Most of us have sat in that salon chair, asked for a classic bob, and walked out with something stiff, heavy, and somehow even flatter than before. That happens because blunt, heavy lines weigh fine hair down. And for Black women dealing with both thinning and texture changes at the same time, a blunt cut feels like a double loss. The soft A-line bob is the answer, longer in the front and shorter in the back, but delivered with softness and movement rather than bulk. The gentle slope lifts the neck and jawline instantly. It frames the face beautifully and avoids that mushroom effect that happens when fine hair gets cut too blunt. Think about a woman at 72 who always believed structure meant straight, hard lines. She tries the soft A-line and says, my neck looks longer and my hair actually feels lighter. I did not expect that. Ask your stylist for a front-to-back angle that is soft, not sharp, minimal stacking, and a neckline that feels clean without being too cropped. If you are not yet subscribed to Ageless Black Style, this is your moment. Hit subscribe because every week we bring you styling wisdom made specifically for Black women like you. Here's something the beauty industry rarely says out loud. For Black women over 50 with fine or thinning hair, chasing a perfectly smoothed, polished look often means more heat, more product, and more frustration, and the result still falls flat. The textured bob changes that completely. This is not about perfection. It is about soft layers, natural movement, and a cut that lets your hair breathe. Texture adds visual volume without heavy product. Soft layers create dimension even when your hair is thinning, and it lets your hair feel like it belongs to you again. Think about a 67-year-old woman who comes in saying she used to love wearing her hair with personality, but now feels like she is supposed to play it safe. She gets a lightly layered, textured bob and comes back 2 weeks later saying, "I feel like I'm smiling more, and I didn't even realize I had stopped." Ask your stylist for gentle point-cut layers, a soft finish that doesn't cling to the scalp, and feathered ends, not blunt ones. Perfect if your hair feels limp no matter what you use, and you want a shape that forgives a day without styling. I already know what you are thinking. Going shorter when my hair is already thinning sounds like a terrible idea, but stay with me because this might be the most surprising thing I say today. The micro bob might be exactly what your hair has been quietly asking for. This shorter, sleeker style falls around the jawline, and on fine black hair, it does something almost magical. It removes the straggly, thinning ends that make hair look tired no matter how well you care for it. It lifts and defines your face instantly, and because there is less hair to weigh itself down, it naturally looks fuller and more intentional. Think about a woman in her early 70s who says she is scared of going shorter but knows she has been holding on to length that stopped working for her. She tries a soft micro bob just under her ears and a few days later says, "I feel lighter, like my hair finally matches how I feel inside." Ask your stylist for a soft, even cut at or just below the jaw, slight beveling under the ends, and keep it simple with no heavy stacking. Clean, intentional, and elegant. Hit the like button if this video is giving you something to think about. It helps more women in our community find ageless black style. And here is the style I told you to stay for, the curtain bob. Quiet, understated, and completely transformative. This cut combines a softly layered bob with light face-framing pieces that part in the center or slightly to the side. And for black women over 50 who feel like their features have been slowly fading into the background, this cut brings them gently and beautifully back to center. It softens the forehead without the commitment of a full fringe. It creates volume around the cheeks and eyes where your expression lives, and it draws attention upward to your face rather than downward. Think about a woman in her mid-60s who says she does not want to hide behind her hair, but also does not want a cut that puts every line on display. She tries the curtain bob and says, "It does not cover me, it just brings me forward again." Ask your stylist for gentle layers through the front, blending into soft curtain pieces, a light curve around the jawline, and no heavy stacking or rigid lines. This cut should flow, not sit stiff. Now here is something I want to say directly, and I want your honest opinion in the comments. I believe black women over 50 are the most underserved women in the hair and beauty conversation. The styles shown in magazines and salons are rarely designed with our specific hair changes in mind. Do you agree? Tell me below, because your voice matters on this channel. Let us bring it all together. The inverted bob that lifts the crown and sculpts around the face, the soft A-line that gives shape without bulk, the textured bob that brings personality back to fine hair, the micro bob that is short, clean, and surprisingly empowering, and the curtain bob that frames your face and brings your best features forward. Every one of these styles has one thing in common. They do not ask you to be someone else. They simply let the woman you are right now, still growing, still glowing, still becoming, come through completely. Which of these 5 bobs are you most curious to try? And which one do you wish someone had told you about 5 years ago? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. Subscribe to Ageless Black Style if you have not already. Share this with a woman in your life who needs to hear it. And remember, your most powerful and most radiant chapter is not behind you. It is happening right now. Until next time, keep showing up, keep choosing yourself, and let your hair speak in a voice that is completely and unapologetically your own.